Good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. The good look of the tube. Hope you're all today everything grand. And also when you will. Hello there. Welcome to another video, everybody. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is pedal board or HX. Basically, this video has come about because recently for live gigging, I've been using the Line 6 HX exclusively. My main pedal board has been staying at home, and I've been using the HX for everything, for all live use. And the reason I'm doing this video is because the HX has opened up like a world. Sorry, I'm moving everybody. A world of different possibilities. In the fact of having like ability to kind of like switch pedal boards like that, and and also having certain effects that I don't normally have that I really want and stuff like that. So the HX has basically taken over all the live work, and my current setup is the HX and the Boss Katana and my two Oswald guitars, and it's just ridiculously tiny. It's so portable, so compact, but does everything I want it to do, and does it really, really awesomely well, and I'm really, really chuffed about that. But it's mad how the HX has totally replaced my analog board. It's replaced like the Governor and the Golden Plexi and the Boss DS2 and the Zoom and my Line 6 delay modeler. It's become kind of like my main live pedal. And also, another thing about it being so small is normally where I play in pubs and stuff, you're normally stuck in a corner with no room whatsoever. So carting a big pedal board into a venue like that over years has drastically cut down the space I have to move about in. And there's nothing worse than having your amp at your back and your pedal board at your feet and you can't move. It's very... I find it very constricting and I don't like it. I like to be able to move about the place. And recently, using the HX, I've been able to do that. I've been really blown away by how much space I've got from using the HX instead of my normal pedal board. So, and I love the sound of the HX as well. It's slightly different to my analog board, But I like that because it's nice to have a bit of a change. So it is a bit different, but not a million miles away, I won't say, but it is different. But today's video is, what I thought I would do is I'll get your opinion, the awesome people of the tube out there, to see which one you prefer and why. You know, which sound do you prefer and why. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do like a clean kind of section first, where I'll do clean on the analog board and clean on the HX. And then we'll do a distortion section where we'll do distortion on the analog board and distortion on the HX. And basically, you know, let me know in the comment section below which one you preferred and why. You know, what was it about the analog pedals versus the HX pedals that you liked, or what was it about the HX you preferred to the analog pedals? But like I say, the HX is an absolute... It really is a pedal board killer. It really is a pedal board killer. It's an absolute monster of a machine. I love it to bits. And it's gone in there as kind of like... It's one of my kind of like ridiculously like... if it broke, I'm buying another one kind of pedal. It's one of those kind of things. Again, it's like my Zoom pedal and my Governor pedal and the Ibanez wah and the Vox wah. It's like, you know, if they break, I just buy another one. I'm not going to look elsewhere. I'm happy with what I've got. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a clean run through on neck and bridge pickup on the analog board, and then neck and bridge pickup on the HX. You'll hear so it'll be like bridge pickup on the analog board, bridge pickup on the HX, neck pickup on the analog board, neck pickup on the HX clean, and then vice versa for distortion. So you'll hear bridge pickup on the analog board in distortion, then bridge pickup on the HX in distortion. If that makes any sense. So, and then, like I said, I want to hear your opinion. What is it you preferred, you know, and why is it? Well, so, without further ado, let me show you the what I've got set up here then before we go any further. So, I can flip the screen over, whap, and then come around here. Okay, so this is my analog board as it stands right now. So, got my Line 6 delay modeler, which we won't be using today. We're just going to go for basic sounds. I want it to be really simple and straightforward, just clean and dirty sounds. I don't really want to start delving into delays and all that kind of thing. So, the signal chain is Zoom, Line 6, Governor, Golden Plexi, wah-wah, DS2, and then out to my guitar. So the amp comes, CR120 comes into the Zoom pedal first, and from the DS2 we go to guitar. So this is what I've got, and the sounds are basically going to consist of my clean tone, which is the Golden Plexi. So my clean tone is going to be the Golden Plexi, and distortion tone is going to be the Golden Plexi and the Governor combined. So that's my analog board as it stands at this point in time. Okay, so the HX over here, is just set up for clean as it stands. I don't know if you can kind of get in on this. But basically, at this point in time, behind the scenes, I have a Stupa overdrive, which you can see in the top right window there. That's my kind of like, that's giving me some kind of grit and distortion. And then I've got a 10-band EQ just to kind of like even it out a bit when it goes through. But this is the live board I've been using recently. Then the Vox wah's made it over to here. But this is all I've been using live recently, and it's absolutely tiny. You can see by my hand, it's really, really tiny, and it is literally like a lot. If you look at the analog board to the HX, it's a lot tinier. So, yeah. So without further ado, let's get into making some noise. So, like I say, you'll hear the analog board first. It'll be Golden Plexi, bridge pickup, and then you'll hear the neck pickup. Bridge pickup on the Golden Plexi, bridge pickup on the HX, neck pickup Golden Plexi, neck pickup HX, and then we'll go to distortion. It'll go like that. And I'll also put the timestamps in the description box below. Okay, so enough jibber jabbering. Let's make some noise. so that's the four examples. Yeah, four examples of each individual pedal. So like I say, you heard the analog sound first, and then HX after. So it was analog bridge pickup, HX bridge pickup, analog neck pickup clean, HX neck pickup clean. And then you heard the bridge pickup on the analog board distorted, HX clean. You get the idea. I don't need to keep saying that. And I say timestamps for each are in the description box below. So if you want to kind of skip between the two really quickly, then you can do that in there. So I'm gonna have a little analyze now because I love both sounds. So this isn't like a video where I'm gonna pick which one I prefer better because I love both. But I am curious to what I can hear that's different between the two because I like the fact they are different. And because I've used my analog board, the analog board as it stands right now with like the governor and the golden plexi and stuff like that, I've used that kind of incantation of that board since 2007. So I've had that set up for a long time, and I was starting to want more, if that makes any sense. As guitar players, we have to kind of like we like to grow and we like to expand our kind of horizons tonally. So it's always nice to look for different kind of tones and different kind of textures of tone and stuff like different kind of reverbs, different kind of delays, different kinds of stuff like that. As far as my clean tone and my clean tone and distortion tones go, they don't really change much. They're just kind of like, they are what they are. The clean tone is just a combination of John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix. And my distortion tone is basically just, it wants to be as big, fat, and as warm as possible, but still kind of retain a little bit of bite to it. That's what I've always wanted since day dot of playing guitar. I've always wanted my clean tone to be like John Frusciante's and my dirty tone to be kind of like really fat, warm, singy, extremely gained up, high gain kind of tone. So they never really changed. But anyway, let's have a bit of a listen. Like I say, let me know what you heard and which one you prefer and why in the description box below. And let's have a listen. So first up is the bridge pickup on my white Strat with the analog pedals, and I'm going to go to the bridge pickup with the HX. Let's see what we can hear. So let's have a go. Let's have a listen. Just going to turn it up a bit. Actually, it's a bit on the quiet side. Right, try that again. Okay, so that's the analog pedals. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a gorgeous sound. Okay, so this is the HX now. Listen to the HX. Sorry, 1 minute. Go back to the analog. Okay, I don't know if you're hearing this, but I'm hearing the HX is sounding fatter. The HX seems to be thicker in its clean tone, especially on that bridge pickup. Yeah, I find the HX is fatter on the bridge pickup. That cleaner kind of tone, it just seems a fatter sound. I don't know. People of the tube, what did you hear there on the bridge pickup of the of everything? Yeah, what did you hear? Okay, so what's that one? So let's go for hang on a minute, everybody. I'm getting confused with all these numbers. Okay, so now we're gonna go to neck pickup, clean, analog, and then HX. So let's get rid of that one and then get that one up as well. Okay, so this is neck pickup, analog, and then we'll get to neck pickup, HX, and I'll be curious to see if that fatness is still there. So analog first. Okay, so HX now. It's a little bit harder to tell the difference. No, it's not. Again, the HX just seemed fatter. What about twiddles? Yeah, the HX seems to have a bit more beef. I don't know why, but it just seems to have a bit more kind of girth to it on the clean tones. I don't know if you're hearing that as well, people of the tube, and also it could be my ears have shot because I've just recorded these, and the intro jam did a good number on my ears. So, but I can hear the HX seems fatter. Is that? I mean, I don't know if that's tonally. I don't hear much difference. Tonally, they're very similar. But I just hear the HX has got a bit of a fatter bottom end to it, and a bit more kind of like a little bit more mids maybe, a smidgen more maybe. I don't know. People of True, what do you think? Okay, so again, on those kind of clean tones, I hear the HX as being fatter. Still with both tones. I mean, like I say, this isn't a video on kind of like which one do I prefer. This is because I love both. This is basically a video on kind of like, what can I hear that's different, and also I really want to know what you can hear that's different as well. I love hearing other people's opinions and what people hear. It's so cool. So yeah, please let me know, like I say, in the description box which one you preferred. Okay, so now we're going to go to distortion, analog pedals, and then HX. So get rid of that one, and we need number 9. Okay, so what's going on there then? Right, hang on a minute, everybody. For some reason I've got number 4 back up as well. Okay, let's try this again. So what's that one? Okay, so it's number 5. Okay, so this is distortion bridge pickup with the analog pedals. So it's the Marshall Governor combined with the Tone City Golden Plexi. Like it. I mean, it's one of the really cool things I do love about that pedal board is, again, this is what I'm always after in distortion. I like it to be really fat and warm, but retain that kind of bite of a Stratocaster, still retain that kind of tonality of a Stratocaster. So that was awesome. I love that sound. The Golden Plexi and the Marshall Governor together, just very happy together. They're very happy in a pedal matrimony, if you will. Okay, so this is the HX now, and I've talked too much, but I can still remember it. Okay, so let me go back to... Again, I'm hearing the HX as sounding fatter. The HX has more gain. I will say that. I'm using the Line 6 drive module for my distortion on the HX, and that has literally maybe about 40% more gain than the Governor and the Golden Plexi combined. It's got more gain. But I love that because I've always wanted a distortion pedal where it's just one pedal. Because I've always combined distortion pedals. I've always combined the Governor with something, and I've always combined the DS2 with something. To have it in the HX as one switch, and that's the amount of gain I want, and that's the tone I want, is a breath of fresh air in a way, because I don't have to turn on 2 pedals, or turn, whatever. So that's really cool. That's really cool. But again, I heard the HX is sounding fatter. I don't think the HX retained as much Strat tone as the Governor and the Golden Plexi. It was a bit more. It was just it was like a fuzz. It was almost like a fuzz kind of pedal sound, which again makes me very happy. But again, there was nothing wrong with either sound. I love both sounds. Really cool. But I don't know. Okay, so now the ultimate setting for me on any guitar is the neck pickup kind of solo sound, if you will. So what are we on? 10 and 6. So this is neck pickup distorted with the analog pedals. love hearing pick attack as well when you saw it. I love to hear that scratch of the pick. You don't get it if you don't have a lot of distortion, which I don't like. I pile on the gain is what I say. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, so that's the Governor and the Golden Plexi. This is the HX. Immediately, the HX still sounds like a Strat, but it's just got a little bit more fatness. Again, I don't know if you're hearing this, people of the tube, but I am hearing the HX is bigger sounding. It's fatter, it's warmer, it's rounder sound. I don't know if that's just what I'm hearing through my monitors, but it does seem to be the HX sounds a bit bigger. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest with you. It's really weird. I was A-B'ing them in the room before I started doing the video, and I couldn't distinguish difference. But after a while, you can't. Your ears get a bit, like, a bit kind of confused and like, what's what? So I couldn't actually hear the difference in low end in the analog board to the low end in the HX board. So that's really cool. Let me go back to the analog one again. Analog pedals. Love double stops with the neck pickup, sound great. You really have that Strat tone. They're both tonally very similar. All these tones, from the clean to distortions, I think are very tonally very similar. I just think that the analog pedals aren't as big as the HX effects, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. But I find the analog pedals lack a little bit of low end, whereas the HX seem a lot fatter in the mid-range and the low end, which makes me very, very happy. Because I'm a mid-range and low-end fanatic. I don't like treble, as you all well know. Oddly enough, actually, in the EQ, because in the HX, I have a 10-band EQ that goes along with an overdrive pedal, and I actually have all the high-end rolled off. So like 16, 8, and 4 kilohertz are all rolled down, so they're gone. All those real high treble frequencies are all gone. So 16, 8, I think 4 I left in. I quite like the 4 kilohertz range. It's quite a nice range. And then I got rid of some mids. It was a little bit clunky as it was. I got rid of some mids around, I don't remember, around the 1K mark. I got rid of some mids around that area, but not a great deal. It was a lot of the high end I rolled off, like the 16 kilohertz and 8 kilohertz, especially rolled off to 0. Like I said, I kept the 4 in. I liked that, but yeah, mega sounds. You know what I'm gonna do? No, I'm not. No, I won't do that. No. I'm going to save that for another time. But yeah, people of the tube, what did you hear? What was your favourite and why? What was it about that sound, either analog or HX, that you preferred the most? If you were to put a gun to my head, please don't. I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to... number 4. I don't want number 6. Okay, I'm going to have to listen to clean neck pickup and clean neck pickup again. So this is clean neck pickup on the analog board. Okay, and then this is clean on the HX on the neck pickup. Jeez. I don't know. Like I say, if you had to put a gun to my head, then I think the HX has a foot higher up. And I didn't expect to say that in this video. As you can imagine, as you can see, I'm a little bit shocked by that. But the HX does seem to have a bit more beef, whereas retaining that brightness still. It's still got that aggressive Strat thing, which I love to bits, but it's got that warmth, that Strat warmth that I love as well. Although it was all going through the CR120's dirty channel, everybody, as well. I'll tell you how I set that up in a minute. But, well, it was set up exactly the same. I didn't change the EQ for each pedal. It was the same EQ on each pedal. So the EQ for the analog and HX was on the dirty channel of the CR120. I had volume all the way up. I had treble on 4, mid was on 7, bass was all the way off, and I had gain at 2.5. So, and I didn't change the settings. I like things to be homogeneous. I like to be able to kind of like, if I want to use my analog board, plug it into an amp, no changing settings. If I want to use the HX, plug it into an amp, no changing settings. None of that faffing around, kind of alter the settings and trying to find a sound. I like things to kind of like, you know, once they're set, it's set it and forget it. So that's how I had set this. That's how I had the CR120 set up. I didn't change anything. I had reverb on 2, which actually enhanced the HX reverb, because I have reverb on in the HX all the time. So I should have turned it off for the HX, but it's not a big issue. But tonally, I think they were very similar, but I think the HX had a bit more fatness and roundness to its tone. There wasn't it wasn't as bright. It was a little bit darker sounding, which makes me very, very happy, because I really like dark tones. So I don't know what this is all about, by the way. There's nothing there. But yeah, people of the tube, let me know what you heard, and let me know which one you preferred and why, because I am really, really curious. I'm fascinated to know what you heard and which one you prefer and why. I love to hear people's opinions on stuff. And it's also really nice to hear people's opinions on your sound, because there's always room for improvement. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's always really cool if you've got a setup that you're really comfortable with, but are you happy with it? You know, if you're questioning, am I happy with that? Because this is what I did with the HX. Get a friend to play through it. And then you see it from a third person perspective. You're not seeing it from your playing perspective. You're hearing it from a different perspective. And recently, my band were recording. My band Dukes Leader, we were recording a single. And I used the HX solely to record all the guitars. I used the HX just for everything. I used the HX and the Katana for everything. And my friend who was recording us, he played through my setup for about half an hour when we were finished. He just had to play through it. And I was just like, I really like that sound. That's if that was somebody else's sound, I would like, that's the sound I want, kind of thing, if that makes any sense. So it's always really cool to get other people to play through your setup and your pedals and your amp and with your guitars, because you get to hear it from a different angle, and you know it's really an eye opener, because you can sometimes go, that's what I don't like. It's this, and then you can go back and tweak it. But with the HX, I was like, yep, I'm sold. I'm happy with that. So. Love both. I absolutely adore both, but I can see why I'm warming towards the HX. Because, honestly, I didn't know why I had warmed to the HX so much over my analog board, to the point where, like I say, it's replaced it for live use. I'm using the Line 6 and my Vox Wah for live, and that's all I'm using. And I don't really understand why until I've heard that just now. It's because it's fatter and warmer, and that's what I love. It's just got that little extra step on top of the analog board. But they are literally like that. That's like the HX, and that's the analog board. There's not much in it. Tonally, they're the same, but the HX has a little bit more things, and also the HX has more versatility as well. It's got so many cool effects. Like the Untitled I put up on Saturday was using the HX with an effect called Particle Verb, which I'm in love with. And it's just this massive splashy reverb that I absolutely adore. So and there's also other things like univibes and phasers and literally any effect you want, it's in there, and it's a real high quality sound effect. I love it to bits. Yeah, the HX is fast becoming, like, lack of a better word, one of my all-time favourite pedals of all time. It really is. It's like, you know, it's like one of those desert island things, the HX. I absolutely adore it. Being a pedal nut. I love pedals. I love it to bits. A lot of people have said you need to try the Helix because it's got amp models. I'm not as keen on amp models. I like amps, if you know what I mean. I don't really like amp models. I like a proper amp. I like my Marshall MGs and my CR120s and my Boss Katana and PV Bandits. I like amplifiers. I'm not overly keen on the whole modelling thing, but I would love to try it. So I hope maybe at some point I can get hold of somebody's Helix so I can borrow and have a bit of a tweak and a bit of a play and see what I can come up with. Because if I was using a Helix, I wouldn't have an amplifier. I'd just run into a PA, and that leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I like to be able to feel an amplifier on stage. I don't like it. I don't like leaving that kind of thing to chance. I like having an amplifier. It feels wrong when I don't have it. And I have done that in the past. I used to use a Behringer V amp straight into a PA for about half a year. That was my setup. I used that for my setup, just straight into a PA. And even back then, that was about 2003, 2004. I knew I preferred the feel of an amplifier on stage to just going DI. But anyway, people of the tube, like I say, let me know which one you preferred, what you heard, because I'm fascinated to love to know what you heard and what you hear, and what do you hear differently to me and stuff like that. So let me know what you heard. Let me know which one you preferred, and I will see you again for Q&A Wednesday. On Wednesday, when else would it be, Dave? I might do Q&A Wednesday on a Thursday just to completely ruin the world. No, it's just weird. Anyway, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. It's been a fairly shortish one, but I hope you enjoyed it. And there's been a lot of me waffling, and I'm going to stop that now. I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. Goodbye now.